Hey guys, at the time of recording this, I am a student too, and I'm doing my grad school homework right now. And I realized that it may help you guys out to watch me do what I have you do in class. So right now I'm trying to cite, I wrote a paper, and I need to cite something, which is this over here. This is not our school, it's Point Loma, because I'm talking about when I was a student teacher at Point Loma High. But I need to cite this page because I used it in my paper. And I'm going to show you how I use NoodleTools, this website, to do that, which you guys will be using NoodleTools to cite your websites and everything else that you have as well. So the link that you've already got in class takes you to this page. You want to scroll down. You want this left one, NoodleTools Express. And for our purposes, we want MLA. The difference between each of these is basically what you're writing about. You don't know a whole lot about that, but we're going to use MLA together. So you're going to click that one. And then this drop down has all the different options. We talked about how in class MLA citations are basically a code for what it was that you read, and how they're formatted tells the reader what kind of thingy it is. So it depends on what kind it is, which one you select, and that'll format it a certain way to say I am a book, or I am a journal, or I am a website. Now, like I said, I'm citing this over here, which would be a website since I'm not holding it. It's not a book, it's not a video or anything, just a website. There's lots more options there if you have something that doesn't fit those top 5. Keep scrolling down, lots of options of what kind of a thingy you have. Create citation. And here it's going to prompt you with different questions to fill in so that it can make that code. Now some of it, as I walk through, you won't have to fill in all of it. I'll tell you which parts are super important and that you need to make sure that you have in there, and which parts we kind of don't need for our purposes. So most recent date of access, that would be today, like it says right here, which, yes, 4th of July. I'm doing my homework on 4th of July. Don't procrastinate, kids. Publication is normally at the bottom. So let's scroll down together, at least in a website. Books have it at the front. If you ever can't find one of these things, call me over. But for websites, which is most of what we're using, it's usually at the very bottom. Yes, we can see 2016 here. Often websites just have the year, which is totally fine. We can leave the month and the date blank. If you're using something like Newsella or New York Times where it's an article that was posted on a certain day, often right below the title too, right below the article title, there'll be a month, date, and year. But if it's just a website that particular article wasn't posted on one day, it often just has the year, and that's totally fine. URL, what that means is this guy up here that starts with www. So I'm going to select that, it turns blue, Control-C copy, Control-V paste, and that way whoever's looking at my citation can click it and go right there. Remember that the recent date of access is important to put there because it tells people if they click on this 3 years from now and it's changed, but this page will change within a year, they know that it's because I went there on this date and they're going a little bit later than that, but they can still get to the link there. And it is a web page. Contributors means things like author, editor, translator. I'm going to skim one more time to make sure, but often these kinds of websites don't have it. Yeah, one particular person didn't write this. The group of people at San Diego Unified did, so it doesn't have one name for me to write. But especially if you're doing articles or things like that, there often is a writer, which they call author here. But this one doesn't, so I can skip it. Web page or document article title. Now this one's a little bit tricky because there's something called a web page title and a website title. Web page is the one that's the title for just this part. Not the entire website, everything in there, but just this one section right here, which you can probably tell my school is what this particular page is talking about. It's not all of San Diego Unified, it's not everything in this whole website, it's just this one page. So for the web page title, I'm going to write my school. For the website title, I'm going to write San Diego Unified School District. The website title is often at the very top. Web page title is usually right above the rating that you're citing. Right above, this is what I'm citing, right above it, my school. You can also see it's here. It's kind of cut off because I've got it off to the side. Publisher of the site, scroll down. That would be San Diego Unified School District as well. That's often at the bottom. If you can't find it though, sometimes it's in different places. You can always call me over. Whoops, can't spell. Unified. Here we go. editors of the site as a whole, again, we didn't see any one single person mentioned on the page, so we can, and normally you can't skip that for the site of a whole. Sometimes you'll see a single editor for that page. You can add that there. Editor of the whole site as a whole, you probably don't need to add. Edition, version, revision, don't worry about that. Annotation, don't worry about that. So you can see definitely everything with the little red star we filled in, and I've got a couple extra pieces of information that I happen to know that I put in since I could find it. Definitely URL. I don't know why they don't have a star there. If you've gone to a website, you should have the URL. But some of them are totally fine to leave blank because we just don't have that information. And then I click submit. And da-da-da-da-da-da, magic! It made it for us. We don't have to do all of the coding. So I've selected it. You can see I turned it blue by clicking and dragging over it. Just that one part. See how it's kind of different font? They do that on purpose so that you know which part is the citation. Not this part. Not this part, just what I have selected in blue. And it's my school, San Diego Unified School District, San Diego Unified School District 2016, web 2016, and then the URL. I'm going to copy it. And then hiding back here, I've got my paper. Not that one, sorry, this one. Okay. I've already got 2 citations there. I'm going to paste this one below it. And you can see they look a little different. That's because even though that website is awesome, it does all sorts of stuff for us, it doesn't do the formatting that we want it to do. So the first thing is this weird tab that I put in there. You want to get rid of that. And you want to make your own tab. You can see it's the reverse of how you would indent a paragraph. The beginning part's over to the left-hand side, and then you tab the second and the third line, if there is a third line. So I'm going to enter and then tab. And this one needs it too. And then to make it look just like the ones above, it's almost there. I gotta make sure it's Times New Roman 12 and double spaced. Actually, I think I can bring this up one more, yeah. Formatting's a little funky, but a little bit of backspace and formatting up here, and it looks just like my other ones with the left-hand side being the first line and then indent for the second line. Times New Roman 12, and I've got 3 references on here now. You can see I don't have 1, 2, 3. I don't need that. LMNO. Oops, I'm not in alphabetical order though. I'm going to move this up 1. So now you can see they're in alphabetical order. D, M, O. Puts them in alphabetical order. No need for 1, 2, 3 or anything like that.